Thank you. Thank you. So I have the very unique situation of being named exactly the way that I look. Right? Like, my name is not Carlos, 100%, right? You already knew that before you came up here, right? A very German first name, very Italian last name. I'll explain. I was actually adopted. I was adopted into a very large Italian family. That's why it looks like my first name fought on the other side of the war. But no, so it was a very large family. My dad's from a family of 17 children. Right? Pretty ridiculous, right? I have 81 first cousins. Or somewhere around there, right? 81. My girlfriend has one. One. So it's a little weird when we kind of exchange families throughout the holidays, right? Because she's Jewish, and yeah, no one ever claps for that. Thank you. Some Jews here. But no, it's a little different. So because Italians are, it's a lot easier to hide the crazy in my family because there's so many of us, right? And her family, they're just Jewish, and it's just understandable, right? So. But in my family, Italians they do this thing where, they'll speak very confidently, they'll just throw words around that they have no idea what they mean, right? But, they're just kind of bigger, and they sound right. My uncle tried to give me the sex talk when I was a kid, and he pulled me to the side, and he's like, listen, when you're going to do the act, always wear a condominium. And I was like, I'm 16, I don't think I can afford that right now. It's not going to work for me, right? Around Easter, he used to gather the kids around and tell them the story of Jesus and the 12 apostrophes, okay? The kind of level of genius we're dealing with in my family. Okay? And it's bad, and they do this weird thing where they have to relate to you in any way possible. So they'll just reach for outrageous stuff. The only thing that my uncle knew about my girlfriend when I brought her over the first time was that she was Jewish, right? So the first thing out of his mouth, I'm like, hey, this is her. And he goes, it was a terrible thing they did. Just a terrible thing. With the whole gentrification. And I was like, gentrification? You mean genocide? Is that the word you're looking for? I don't think they put up Whole Foods across Poland, okay? I missed a lot of stuff. Right? But her family's bad too, man, if we're being honest, right? Now, she's a vet, so as an animal doctor, we shouldn't fight in Korea or anything. We get out of a lot of family arrangements because she's always working and stuff like that, so it works out. But this year was the first year that we had to go to Passover. Okay, now I've never been to Passover before, and it was. So they decided that they wanted to go out to dinner, which traditionally. Going out to dinner with a bunch of Jews, it really just doesn't work out, okay? It just doesn't, right? Everyone's got a bunch of dietary restrictions. One of her aunts doesn't eat butter. That's fucking outrageous, okay? I don't trust anyone who doesn't eat a little bit of butter, okay? You eat a plain roll, I'm not leaving my kid with you, okay? That's for sure. Right? The other aunt, every time we go to a pizza place or something, she gets a pizza, no cheese, no sauce. Yeah, that's bread, okay? That is bread, okay? Come out to this restaurant, I'll have a loaf of bread, please. That's outrageous, right? I don't think you're really understanding, so let me put it in a little more perspective for you. The last time that Jesus went out to dinner with 12 Jews, he was like, this is the Last Supper ever. Okay? Ever. And he turned himself into the Romans before the sun even came up, okay? Come out of here. If you read a lot of the subtext in the Bible, it kind of sounds like Jesus created Christianity because he never wanted to go to Passover again. He's like, we're good up here to a point, let's just cut it off and we'll start something new. We'll just collect eggs and have bunnies and shit, it'll be great. Write this down, write this down. That's what it is. So I'm kind of getting some work in Hollywood these days. I'm kind of starting to book some roles and stuff, which is very cool. Kind of a double-edged sword though, because I do have a very specific look for roles, and it's not the kind of coveted roles that people would like, right? Like, I kind of look like a history professor, right, who could like inspire the abused child to overcome and become the next president of the United States. Or I could be the history professor that abuses that child, right? I could go either way, I feel like. Right, so I got a lot of range going for me, right? But my first role, right, this is something that I had to tell my family that I did, right? So my first television role ever was I was on an episode of CSI, okay? And I was in the criminal lineup scene, right? Yeah. And I was suspected child molester number 3, okay? Yeah. I know, you can kind of see it, right? I mean, it's there, right? It's definitely there. Right? But like let me show you. This is my whole part. This is the whole thing I did in the whole show. Right? So I'm standing there and they're like, "Number 3, step forward." And that's it, right? That is it, right? So that means that in no way was I hired for my acting ability whatsoever. Right? Not one shot. Like, my headshot came across this guy's desk. He picked it up and was like, "What, does this guy look like he fucks kids?" Yeah? Let's get him down here. We'll give him $100. I was like, "I'll be there in 30 minutes.